Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Sasi Prasad and I am a technical architect in Salesforce Marketing Cloud. Today in this session, we'll be discussing how to troubleshoot Journey Builder not seen. You can also come to my blog and type troubleshooting. I had compiled these blogs a couple of years back, and this used to give a very limited options to how to troubleshoot your journey scenes. Today we are going to level up this experience with an automated process. Let's directly jump into our marketing cloud instance and let's get started. This is one of my journey builder that I have configured and I've tried to perform some sense. If I try to open the email activity summary, clicking on the view contact details, and once I click on the summary details, I can see there are a lot of hard errors that had occurred during this email send, and mostly because of list detective. There might be other reasons as well, like the email address is invalid, or you might have like account level opt out, master unsubscribed, held, auto suppression list, so on and so forth. Imagine if you have thousands of running journeys in your marketing cloud instance and you have to automate a way to basically extract this data into a data extension and build a summary of this report. How we are going to do? I'm going to explain you now. As you can see in this diagram, what I'm going to do is I'm going to create my own custom data views like not send, trigger send definition, and the send summary. Journey activity and journey are the predefined data views that is provided by Marketing Cloud. So in this example, I'm going to create three different data extensions, and to create those data extensions, you can come to my blog and go to data views. In this data views tab, if you scroll down, you can see not sent data view. You can copy this code, and then we also have the trigger send here and also the not sent summary. And if you want to implement in your SFMC instance, you can simply copy paste this code and reuse it. So I have already copied this code here, and these are my attributes for the not sent, which is also defined in the Salesforce Marketing Cloud official documentation. These are the custom data view, I would call it, and this data view I would define it as a trigger sent definition data view. And I have only brought only limited attributes into this data extension. And then the final one would be the not sent summary report, which will have subscriber key, email address, event date, trigger sent external key, region, activity name, and the journey name. So what I'm going to do next is I'm going to create a automation. This will be a one-time automation, and let me give a name as custom data views. So I require three different script activities. First one is to create the not sent data extension. So let me give the name and the external key as the same as not sent data extension. Let me copy this code and paste it in the editor. Click on validate and click next. Now our next is the trigger send definition data extension. Let me copy this code and paste it here. And the last one is the not sent summary data extension. Let me copy this code and paste it here. All these data extensions would be created under the folder data views. Now let's run this once. Select all activities, click run and run now. Our automation activities got completed and you can see the data extension has been created. So this is our not sent data views data extension. This is our trigger send definition data extension. And this is our not sent summary data extension. Let's save this automation. Now we'll create another automation for not sent summary. And here what we are going to do is we are going to do the data extract and we'll have file transfer, another one for the unzip of the file. Then we'll have the import activity. The fifth step would be fetching the triggers and definition through WX proxy. And the final one would be a SQL query. So let's configure the first step, that is the data extract. So I'll create a not sent activity data extract. Let's give a file name and let's say this is the file name that we have configured. The extension would be .zip because we'll be doing a tracking extract, and we would first uncheck all the checkboxes that is pre-selected, and we'll only select the extract not send checkbox. And for this example, we are going to take 90 days of data and click next. Let's configure the file transfer. So let's give the name as not sent activity and select move a file from safe house. Give the same zip file that has to be moved, and we'll move it to the destination to the exact target enhance FTP and click finish. Third one, we'll do the unzip activity and then we click on manage file. Click next and give the same file name that we want to unzip and select the unzip compress file checkbox. Click next and finish. Third one is to do the import activity. So this is also the not sent activity. Click next and the naming pattern will be not sent dot CSV. And in the advanced option, you can obviously select keep blank file and click next. Select the data extension that we created, which is the not sent data views, and click next. Here, I haven't mapped anything which is primary key in this data extension. So I'm going to select override and I will do a manual map, and I'll fetch a CSV file and map the attributes. I'm not going to map the client ID. So batch ID, email address. So we have mapped all the attribute except the client ID. And you can also do the client ID, but for this demo purposes, I'm not going to map this particular attribute. And I'll click next and finish. Fifth step would be bringing the trigger send definition. So I would give trigger send definition details, and I have already compiled this code where I am basically leveraging the trigger send definition object, and I am observing all these values like customer key, created date, modified name, description, email, subject, object ID. You can have other attributes as well if you want. And I'm inserting this into this particular data extension which we created. That is a triggers and definition. Let me copy this code and let's validate this and click on next and finish. Now my last one is the not sent summary. So in this query, I have also prepared this query already. Let me copy this code, paste it here. And I think I've missed the email address. So let me bring the email address as well. Okay. So now let me paste this here, validate, and click next. I'll say overwrite and select not sent summary and click finish. All our 6 steps are configured. Let's run this once. And click on run once. As you can see, our not sent summary automation ran successfully. Let's go to our data extension. Let's refresh this. And first, let's see the not sent data, which were not sent because of a lot of other reasons like list detective, missing subscriber key. There might be other options like account level opt out, master unsubscribed, held, invalid email address. Let's see our triggers in definition. So we have 59 records. We have the summary, and let's open this summary and see what it has captured. So we have the subscriber key, email address. I'll come to this. Okay. We have the trigger send extra key, the reason why it was not sent, the name of the email activity, and the journey. So the journey name is not sent and the activity name is not sent. And we also have another journey called not sent campaigns. And here also we have the activity as not sent. So now let's go to our journey builder. So this is one of our journey which is not sent. Like, so here the journey name is not sent, and here also the journey name is not sent. Here the activity name is not sent, and this is our activity which is not sent. We also have another journey called not sent campaigns. Let's copy this Let's search this journey, and we have another journey as well, not send campaigns. And here as well, we have a email activity which is called not send. So from this not send summary report, we can find out all the journey and all the email activities. Here, the email address is the same as subscriber key, because if you go to the not send data extract, if it is a list detective, both subscriber key and the email address would be the same. And if you perform the send via guided send, then the not send will have the proper email address, which were basically like info, postmaster, junk email. It will capture the email address. The only issue is with the journey sends. So the email address would always be the subscriber key. And you can validate this via the trigger send external key. So wherever you have the email addresses, it will not have the external key, which means this email was sent via guided send. So to finally recap this session, what we did, we first created a custom data view, and we created 3 different data extension, which is a one-time process. That is the not send data extract, trigger send definition, and the not send summary. We created another automation called not send summary. In this automation, we first did a not send tracking extract, and we did the file transfer, and we unzip the file, and we import it into the not send data extension. Then through SOAP API, WS proxy, we fetched the trigger send definition and stored it into our trigger send data extension. And then finally, we run a query. And let me show you the query once again. Here, we selected all the attributes that are required from the not send data extension, and we perform the inner join on the trigger send definition based on the customer key and the trigger send external key, and the inner join on journey activity, where the trigger send object ID maps to the journey activity object ID. And finally, another join on the journey, where we join the journey activity on version ID. And this is our mapping of our data model for this troubleshooting. If you all like this video, give a thumbs up. And if you have any questions or clarification, please put it in the comments in the video. Thank you all, and we'll see you next time.